So picture this, a vibrant garden in Kutama, Mashonaland West, where Linda Gabriel is tending to her thriving crops. But just a few years ago, this same soil was barren and lifeless.
When a mother is not feeding her children with nutritious food, the children will suffer from malnutrition. The same goes for the soil that is surrounding us.
This episode is about soil, the foundation of our food systems. We have guest presenters, Confidence Ndlovu and Grace Gumba with us. They took part in the Co-Create Change Storytelling Workshop program from which this podcast series was born and will be guiding us through some of the stories of change. Hi, Grace.
Hi, Sydney.
Hi, Confidence. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, guys. Thank you very much.
Grace Gumba is from Porridge Trust from Chimanimani District in Manicaland.
And this is a genuine East meets West because Confidence is from all the way in Lupane.
Together, we'll explore how nurturing our soil can improve our health, food security, and resilience.
We'll hear stories from several inspiring individuals who have transformed their lives and land through innovative soil management practices. Over to you, Confidence and Grace.
Yes, our journey today begins with the story of Linda Gabriel from Kutama, Mashonaland West. Linda's story highlights the crucial link between soil health and food security. She shares how traditional practices can rejuvenate both soil and community well-being.
When a mother is not feeding her children with nutritious food, the children will suffer from malnutrition. The same goes for the soil that is surrounding us. Here in Kutama in the Zimbabwe district, our soils are sandy, lacking organic matter. Monocropping is vastly practiced and crops are not rotated. Having learned permaculture in 2019, I've been sharing knowledge on how to improve our soil health to lessen the financial burden of buying synthetic fertilizers. With locally sourced materials, I keep my gardens mulched. The mulch later decomposes, adding organic matter to our soils and retaining moisture. I employ companion planting. For some plants fix nitrogen into the soil and other plants repel pests. This works well for a simple household like ours. I am forever making compost using dry leaves, dry grass, manure from our livestock, our chickens, and our ducks. Like a loving mother who continuously gives her infant nutritious food, we too can strive to make our soils healthy, to increase our food production and better our food systems. This is the change I wish to see.
Linda's approach really highlights how integrating permaculture and traditional practices can revitalize the soil, reduce reliance on synthetic fertilizers, and enhance food security. Her efforts demonstrate that nurturing the soil is akin to nurturing a child. It requires a constant care and attention.
That's a wonderful story from Kutama, Grace. Moving to Kufunda village in rural Mashonaland East, let's now hear from Elijah Kadumbo, who shares his story of transition from conventional to organic farming and the positive changes he has observed as a result.
Yes, my name is Elijah Kadumbo. I live in Idesley Farm, Ruwa. The significant changes that I have noticed in organic farming is that of my soil fertility. Long ago, I used to do conventional farming, but because of the challenges that I've been experiencing on my soil, then the soil used to hold water on top, but these days my water is now penetrating well. Even my crop standing has also improved. I'm seeing that the crops are going well and the vegetation is well. And I'm also doing mulching.
Elijah's experience illustrates how organic farming can enhance soil fertility, improve water management, and lead to healthier crops. His story is a testament to the benefits of embracing practices that support soil health. Now we're going to hear from Admire Gwatidzo, also from Kufunda, as he brings historical perspective to soil management. Let's listen to Admire.
using big machines have, compacted our soil, and also the method of using monoculture is really one of the biggest challenge in the conventional farming. So looking at all these challenges, we found out that, we have to act positive. And one of the solutions is to look at, the best ways that we can save our indigenous seeds.
Admire's insights highlight how traditional farming methods like intercropping can restore and sustain soil health following years of destructive practices. His advocacy for these practices underscores the value of integrating many generations of indigenous knowledge into today's agriculture.
That is a really important point about integrating indigenous knowledge. Paying close attention to what is going on around us right now in the present is also important, as you describe in your story, Confidence, about an innovative approach to improving soil quality in the semi-arid region of Lupane district, Matabeleland North.
It was a cold, windy winter morning when I realized a lot of cows bells ringing and cows on the edges of the Bobi Lupane Dam. Some were drinking, some were eating the plush grass right on the edges of the dam. That is when I realized, how can this water from the dam always have green plush grass at the edges of the dam? And this cattle that feed on it are forever healthy. That is when I wondered, what if I were to use the cow dung to incorporate in my soil with this water from the dam? Would I not have such amount of green, healthy grass, or if it's vegetables that I'm going to be farming? That is when I realized I really needed to change my food system. And if I were to use the same mechanism as the one at the dam, I would probably make one of the greatest produce.
Wow, Confidence! Your story really illustrates how adapting local resources such as cow dung can improve soil quality and crop yields. Your resourcefulness in utilizing available materials underscores in the importance of observing our surroundings carefully and finding local solutions to soil challenges.
Oh, thank you very much, Grace, for those wonderful words of encouragement.
Now, the story of the late, great Dr. Tsitsinya Mpingidza from the University of Zimbabwe in Harare. Tsitsi's wonderful video story, available to view on our website, gave us a broader and deeper perspective on soil health. Her story focuses on the important role of microorganisms in maintaining soil fertility.
These tiny microorganisms live in the soil and are on plant roots. These microorganisms have a very important role of feeding, nurturing, and protecting plants. All they need is a habitable home and food. Agroecological, regenerative, and organic agricultural practices of applying compost and manures to the soil, including water harvesting, mulching, cover cropping, all create an environment in which these beneficial microorganisms flourish. Because they adapt quickly to any environment, they are able to feed the crops during good and bad times, and they build resilience to the cropping systems. They are nature's shock absorbers. Indeed, food and nutrition security is in the biodiversity of nature's offerings, above and below ground. I therefore see a future where we are taking care of the soil so as to protect the microorganisms that live in harmony with our crops and plants. I leave you with these questions. How can we make this happen?
Tsitsi's emphasis on soil microorganisms highlights the central and often forgotten role. Collaborating with these tiny workers through regenerative practices, we can indeed build more resilient, healthy, and productive soil systems.
Thanks, Grace, and thanks for reminding us that all these stories can be explored in full on our website. Let's listen to a final story from Traimo Samkange, who is also based at Kufunda village. He discusses his shift to biodynamic farming and the improvement he's seen in the soil health and crop nutrition as a result.
in the past years, people were using conventional farming where they are using fertilizers and chemicals, which disturbs the soil fertility and also kills the microorganisms in the soil, which can help the soil building. But now when I started organic farming, I've seen a great change where we were using manure to make compost that can help to rebuild our soil. By so doing, the produce that we get from organic farming, they gives us more nutrition, and also we can also not having any side effects from what we are eating and what we are consuming from organic farming. So that's what I have observed.
Trimo's transition to biodynamic farming gives us a glimpse of the positive impact of organic practices on soil health and crop quality. I feel his efforts in educating others are inspiring.
Thanks, Grace and Confidence, for guiding us through this collection of stories and voices.
Yes, it was really great having you with us. And as we've seen through these stories of change, nurturing our soil is essential for building more sustainable food and agricultural systems. From traditional methods to innovative practices, there are many ways to enhance soil health and support resilient food systems.
Oh yes, and to continue making progress, we need supportive policies that promote soil conservation, education on sustainable practices, and community-driven initiatives. Listening to each other's stories, our collective would like to recommend that we all recognize the importance of soil health, encourage and restore microbial soil life, transition to sustainable practices to heal and regenerate our soils for future generations, integrate traditional and indigenous knowledge to become more sensitive and respectful of our local environments, adapt and implement Zimbabwe's draft soil conservation policy. This contains a set of actions and guidelines aligned to the United Nations Global Soil Charter and seeks to address pressing issues of soil erosion, degradation, and climate change. These recommendations are drawn from the stories and experiences of farmers who are leading the way in sustainable soil management.
Together, we can build a future where our soils are healthy, our food systems are resilient, and our communities thrive.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of soil health. You can listen to more inspiring stories of change and get further information by visiting our website. Check it out by searching Co-Creating Sustainable Food Systems Story Map or follow us on YouTube.
We dedicate this episode to the memory of Dr. Tsitsindo Woranyampingidza, who sadly passed away in mid-2024 and who shared with us her passion for soil health, biodiversity, indigenous foods and sustainability. In her story, she shared her vision for a more sustainable future. On May 6, 2024, upon completing the workshop program, she reflected that, and I quote, "It was an amazing journey of healing where I was able to pour out some bottled pain regarding food insecurity. Above all else, I loved being around colleagues who listened, a much needed skill for many of us." And I end the quote. Let us all listen deeply to these stories of change and in the process, change ourselves and our food systems. If you found this episode insightful, please subscribe, leave a review and share it. Stay tuned for more food system stories and solutions to co-create a healthier world.
Until next time, remember, healthy soil is the foundation of a healthy future. Let's take care of it.
This was Rudo Chakanyuka
and Sydney Mangweka.
On behalf of the Co-Create Change team, thank you for listening.